Sportscast Sports Talk 101 on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Discuss, debate, entertain, and loud.
Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
What's going on?
Ooh, man, I also realized why my background looked different when I was. We're in the studio, and I'm like, why the hell does my background look different? I realized I wasn't even on Sports Talk, my own stuff, my own folder. So I was like,
I was gonna tell you, but then I said, I really like that. So
I didn't think about it at first. So holy crap, man! We had a conversation. We went live early because we were like going off on.
I was like, dude, we got to see this for the show.
Oh man, what a draft! Holy crap!
Oh man,
I was saying earlier, I was like, this is probably one of the first drafts in a long time. Barely any quarterbacks got picked, and you think about it, it was mostly just because you had teams already either one, they already got their they already have established quarterbacks, and there was off-season trades, and the quarterbacks that were in the draft there wasn't just good ones available. It was just wasn't.
I have to say, Malik Willis, I like him, and the new Pittsburgh guy was Pickett. Yep. I like him, and everybody else, I mean, could be fill-ins. You know, you could just.
It was just crazy how all of the mock drafts for quarterbacks were all wrong. Almost every one of them. You had a good chunk that were all top 10 picks, and almost all of them were just. None of them were right. I think just the Pittsburgh one was the only one that was right out of all of the mock drafts that I had seen, that I had looked up and come across.
They lost the quarterback, and they needed a quarterback. They need a quarterback in Pittsburgh because Big Ben is gone, and you got to find somebody to play. I think the kid's going to do good. I think he's going to do good.
I think he is too. It's just going to be interesting to watch for Pittsburgh, just because right off the bat when Ben retired, it automatically says Pittsburgh's in a rebuild mode. Doesn't matter that they have established backups that have been there and that have played. It automatically put them in a rebuilding mode because you have to tailor the entire offense now around somebody else.
Ron, Jerry Hopkins is an idiot. Yep, PED. Kids, drugs are bad. Drugs are very bad.
It's our good buddy NFL Ron is in the house.
Yeah, I agree. That's why they got AJ Brown, man. AJ Brown went to the Eagles. They got Downtown Brown.
Downtown Hollywood.
Hollywood Brown went over there. AJ Brown. Hello. Brown.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, oh my God, what a bonehead.
He's hurt though, man. He's injuries. That's why some of these guys they take these pills because they're in pain. They're trying to get back. Because a young kid could just snatch up and take their job, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, not only did that was in the news. Tannehill.
Yeah.
Himself in the news because
I'm not here for Malik Willis.
I'm not here to babysit and train him. Because he didn't know that they were going to draft a quarterback. It's a twofold. Like, I get his side. Because if he goes down, he could lose his job. It happens in the NFL all the time. But I also get the other guy. As a whole, I'm just like, dude, he is the new kid. So you
don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. You guys, Cardinals was hot last year, man. They were hot, and then all of a sudden they fell off. But
so
it'll be legit. He's legit.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let me see. I'm just tweeting this stuff out. All right, there we go. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Cardinals have no shot in the NFC West now.
I think they still do. I mean, they were playing with him last year. He was hurt, and they were doing good without him, and they were moving up, and then they just kind of completely fell up. But now they got Hollywood Brown.
They self-destructed last year. I mean, but to be honest, though, the entire season last year was weird. I mean,
it was.
From start to finish, it was
Cowboys. Cowboys, like,
Well, I mean, the Cowboys, that's normal. That's the norm for them.
We all
The,
knew.
the only difference with the Cowboys last year was the fact that they won more games because they don't have Jason Garrett there. So they're not the 8-8 mediocre team. But they still did the same thing they always do year after year after year after year, which is let's do great during the season. We'll get to the playoffs. We'll either, one, blow it and not make the playoffs, or we'll make it to the playoffs in the first round in the wild card, and then we'll collapse.
Right.
And we'll be one and done. And if they had a bye week, it'd still be one and done. Doesn't matter. They would still be one and done. But no, the draft, interesting stuff. I was looking at the NFL's draft for the scores for the East, because obviously I'm an NFC East guy. So we had the Eagles were the top dog. They came in with an A- ranking. The Giants came in with a B. Cowboys got a B-, and Washington got a C. And to be honest, because Ray asked me before the show started, he's like, "What was your grade for your team?" And I said a C, maybe a B-, but I said I'd probably just stick with a C. And I hadn't looked at the rankings on the NFL's website yet, so it was pretty much there. I liked that we got a receiver. I'm curious. I would love to see that Dotson perform well, like McLaurin did, when he got drafted, because that was the great pick for us. I don't know about the going with the running back. We did get some defense, which we need. We need some fresh faces on defense. We got an offensive player. We needed that. Safety, I'm hoping Butler does okay. It'll be interesting to see what Rivera's able to do with Howell at quarterback. I think it's a good pick. Fifth round, you weren't missing too much.
Let me tell you what could happen, man. Let me tell you what could happen. You could probably see Wentz. We all know Wentz gets hurt. He's got that damn, he goes down, folks. Let's keep it real. This kid might, I'm from North Carolina. Shout out to the Tar Heels. The kid played for the Tar Heels. He might just get a spot, get a role, man, and probably do good. I think that was, we call that a handcuff, I think if Wentz goes down, this kid might become a star.
He could. I don't know if we'll definitely get to see him play this in the preseason. But I think if Wentz goes down, it's still going to go right back to Heineke. But if last year was a one-hit wonder season, that could be Howell's time to shine. I like that we did get an offensive guard. We definitely needed somebody to fill Brandon Scherf's. The loss of Scherf getting traded. We needed that void. We got a tight end. We got some, like I said, cornerback. We got a pretty rounded base. Whether it works or not, I don't know. The word from what was reading through on this is it's
Dotson. I gave that an A because Carson Wentz. You need receivers. You need weapons. I think he's going to complement Terry. I think he's going to compliment. They still got Curtis Samuels. They still got Brown. So you needed a receiver,
folks.
you got a defensive. You got a big boy from Alabama.
There were a lot of big kids there. Yeah,
you got to love those defense tackles. Mathis, number 47.
Yep.
You got a running back, an Alabama running back.
Yeah.
At round 3, number 98.
What'd you think of him? There weren't a lot of running backs, to be honest. I mean, that went. It like I said, this whole draft was weird, but we've got good running backs. But it's.
Hey, let me tell you something. The SEC, when you get some boys from the SEC, especially Alabama, is trained for pro.
Well, he's 6'2", 225, so he's a good-sized running back, but he got a prospect grade, 6.21. 40-yard dash the kid did at 4.53. Vertical jump of 30 and the broad jump 119, but, so he's got some speed. He can get up there. I mean, it's not like super fast.
He ran behind Najee Harris, Josh Jacob, and Damian Harris, okay? So those are the backs he was running behind. He rushed for 1,343 yards, and he later starred in the semifinals. So this kid's college football playoff, earning him MVP honors. I think that's That's a good at in the third round. That's
I'll
pretty
tell
good.
you another one that's got some speed behind him is the safety we got, Percy Butler. That
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
the 40 yard dash. He pulled that in at 4. He clocked in at 4.36. That's like running backs. You want that usually for like running backs, but I'm okay if he can get an interception. He's gonna be gone. Um,
Getting depth at safety, I think that was
yeah,
good.
and he's not like I mean 6 foot tall, 194, and he's got that speed behind him. So I think that's going to be good for our defense. Then we picked up Cole Turner at tight end out of
Oh, yeah,
Nevada. Like,
149 overall.
kid needs to get a haircut.
6'8", 6'8". Kid is 6'4", 6'6".
That's a big dude. That's a
Big,
big tight end.
big boy.
240. He's 246. That's a big tight end. That's a big meaty guy. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but he's got some speed behind him. At that with that height, I mean, he's a big dude, and he got the 40 and 4.76. That's pretty damn good for
No.
a guy
Let's
his
talk
size.
about this round number 7 at the number 230 pick. You got Chris Paul, and I'm not talking about the basketball player. I'm talking about the guard.
I know.
Bosa, 6'4", 323 pounds.
That's a big old.
That's
That's a big old lineman.
yeah. It
But
is.
and he I'm looking at this the 40 yard dash stuff because that's, I mean, I wish I could run like that still, but I'd end up I don't think I could ever run like that, and if I tried nowadays I'd be looking like Forrest Gump when he was a kid.
I ran
Um,
varsity track in school, man, and I was
I
pretty
was
fast.
quick in high school, but not like 4 point. I could get up there if I really tried, but this guy's 6'4", 323 pounds, and did the 40 yard dash with 4.89 seconds. That was like, you got to be. I was like, damn, I wish I could run like that.
What do you think about your cornerback Christian Holmes from Oklahoma State? Round 7,
I
240 overall.
I mean, he's, 7th rounder. I mean, it's either a bust or, I mean, he's going to either be good or bad. I mean,
40-yard dash, 4.52.
yeah, I mean, he's got speed, so I think we did good overall. Like I said, I trust Rivera. I've always had faith in Rivera's decisions. So it's not Dan Snyder picking. It's not Bruce Allen. That was our issue.
I gave Washington a B. I give him a B plus. I gave him the Commanders a B plus.
You were more generous than I was.
I like the tight end. I like the receiver. I like the running back.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they got the SEC, these Alabama boys. I like the fact that they went and got the ACC. The Tar Heels got the quarterback. I like the quarterback. I thought that was pretty smart.
Now, I want to ask your thoughts on the Giants real quick, and then we'll shift over to the NFC West. What are your thoughts on the Giants? Because I think they had a fantastic draft. I think they did really well, especially with the amount of picks that they had. They ended up drafting 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is it, like 11 players? I lost track. I'm not used to teams getting. I'm not used to somebody other than the Lions or the Browns or Jacksonville getting like ridiculously amount of picks.
I think the Giants did really good, but one thing, man, remember, folks, it's on paper. It looks good. Can they play? Can they get coach? Can they get management? It's a lot else. Can they work as a team
and stay healthy?
I think the picks, I think they did. Daniel Jones is not good. You know what? Ron, look, give the kid another year, man. Come on. Give the kid another year, man.
I think the benefit with Ron, is he's got competition, and that may push him.
The quarterback, his running back was hurt. The star running back was hurt. And then who was he throwing to? The tight end got hurt. Injuries.
Did he have anybody to throw to at this point?
I mean, good Lord. Who was he throwing to? Give him a chance to, because kid is legit. I'm not gonna say Daniel Jones is a scrub. He's legit. but you can't. One man can't do it. You got to build around the youngster, and you got to
Yeah,
put.
he's not Tom Brady, who is just everything he does is golden.
Hello, you can't compare this kid to
I
Tom
know,
Brady.
I
You
know,
can't. Good lord.
I know. Yeah, no, I he needs stuff. So I think. What'd you think of what was that? Kayvon? I ain't even messing with the last name. Old Fib getting their Oregon edge rusher. Because I know a lot of people didn't expect the Giants to get him.
I thought that it was either gonna be him or the other guy, Hutchinson or whatever. I liked him,
Right.
but either way, that's a win. The kid is, I mean, just right before the draft, everybody was talking about him anyway, that he jumped to number
Yeah.
one. So no, that's a good pick. That's a big you go for the best. And he was one of the
Well, yeah,
best.
that's really the whole point of the draft. I mean, so they ended up getting an edge rusher. They got an offensive tackle from Alabama,
Right.
wide receiver from Kentucky. They got two players in the third round, a guard and a cornerback from North Carolina and LSU. Fourth round, they picked up two players, a tight end and a safety. They got a linebacker, a defensive tackle, and another guard in the fifth round, and a linebacker in the sixth round. So a lot of offense. A good chunk they filled their defense. And
First of all, that number 5 and number 7, the Neal and
Evan Neal,
Kayvon,
offensive
that
tackle.
was
Yep.
you got Oregon, Alabama. That's a win. Then you went and you go pick up a receiver from Kentucky, Robinson. That's good. You get the OG from North Carolina. Yeah, no, they did pretty damn good. And let me tell you, San Diego State, they picked up I like that tight end. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they did good. They did good.
Yeah. I think
like
they did really good. So we'll move over to the NFC West. Let me see. I'll let you start that one off since that was more your
you want me to
with
talk about my Niners?
yeah, if you want,
All right,
we'll
all
jump
right,
right into the Niners with that one.
all right. Well, man, look, hey, I'm not gonna lie. There was some picks I was like, woo, and then there was some picks like, oh my god, we reached. It was a reach. But I'm not gonna look. Let me tell you something. They went, so we didn't get anybody in the first round. Our first pick was 61, and that was in round 2. And we went and we got Drake Jackson, the DE from USC. Hey, let me tell you something, man. We got Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is a beast. Guess what when you have a beast here, guess what you do? You go get another beast. You get beast and you want to eat quarterbacks. You want to rush and tear them apart. And I think that's what Nick Bosa and I think that's what Drake Jackson's going to do. So, yeah, I like this kid. And then USC, man. I mean, God, you ever been to the campus of USC? It's a tough area, man. It's a tough school.
Ron asked, should have traded Debo for the 10th pick.
No. Let me tell you something, man. He's under contract, okay? Once you start letting these damn receivers do what they want, hell no. I got you on the contract, boy. I got you for another year. You ain't going nowhere. But what you do, you got to give them what they, and that's what they did. They went and they got this. They went and got a receiver to kind of help.
Yeah.
They went. Let me tell you who they got. They first of all, I don't like the running back at number 3, Davis Price. He was
You don't like him?
dude. He was ranked 5th and 6th. It's a reach.
Oh,
It was a reach. You don't reach.
Yeah.
But then they went and they had another round 3 pick at 105. They went and picked up Danny Gray from SMU. I like him because he's a deep ball specialist and he can do a lot of stuff. You don't have to depend on Debo running out and getting all those balls and doing all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You need to if Trey Lance is your dude, you got to give him some weapons. We got Kittle, we got Debo, we got Ayuk, now we got this kid. You need depth. And so with Debo, back to your question, hell no, man. You don't get Debo is our offense, man. He's a running back. He's a receiver. He can do a lot. You don't do that. You don't, especially with a young quarterback. You need all this kid can do. If he can't throw it down, you just throw a nice little dunk to Debo. Debo can run it down the field, man. Hell no.
So let's see.
Just pay
The
the man. That's what you do.
damn.
Pay him. Pay him.
I see why you like the Danny Gray pick. He's got a pretty good. I'm looking at his combine results, his prospect info, and the grade 6.0. It's not bad. I mean, 6 foot, 186.
4.33 40-yard dash.
No, that's what I was getting at. I was like, it's 40-yard dashes. And he's got a pretty good vertical jump and a broad jump. So I mean, he's got height and he's got speed, and that's a win.
You know another problem, folks, that we were having is Debo. Even though he's a beast, he gets hurt. IU, he gets hurt. Even Kittle gets hurt. When these guys get hurt, what do we have? Doo-doo! And that's why I'm not too hard on Jimmy, because Jimmy, like, that's not, he doesn't, gotta have receivers, man. You gotta have depth. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. You gotta have receivers. Man. So I'm happy with that pick. And as we go further down with my San Francisco Giants, they went and they got a offensive lineman, Spencer Burford from UTSA. They went and picked up a cornerback from Toledo, Samuel
What'd you think of him? Small. He's a short little dude.
Short dude.
I don't like to say. I mean, he is at cornerback. He's 5'9". I'm sorry. That's shorter. That ain't even Darryl Green's level. Darryl Green was 5. He was small too, but Darryl Green was a beast.
That's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, unless he's got speed and fat, like he's quick or something. But
yeah, I don't have his stats. I mean, I can see his strength and his weaknesses. He got falls. He failed. Fails to keep feet under him, leading to slips in transition. That's a big weakness. Yeah. High cut frame limits body control to shadow from a shuffle. Not a good sign. Losses come when he fails to properly locate the football. You're a cornerback. That's the primary goal as a cornerback is to locate the ball and try to get it. And if you can't find,
but the thing about Samuel Womack though, he did leave the MAC in passes defended in 3 seasons. So
that is a good.
He's got some skills. He's got some skills. So number 6, we went with a guy named Nick Zach. I can't even say his name, but he's an offensive lineman.
I do too, Ron. I do too.
What did Ron say?
Ron says, I trust in Mike Shanahan. I got faith in Shanahan.
Don't give it all up. Hold on. Give some love to Lynch. That's Lynch and Shanahan. Those are two. I got to give some and Lynch is a defensive guy, so got to give some love to Lynch. They went and got Bosa.
Lynch knows. I'm curious with one of the picks that I want to see you talk about. Let's see.
So then, we got Davis. Yeah, I don't like that. He's I don't like. I didn't like that pick.
What about Castro?
Penn State cornerback.
6'1". I mean, so he's not a little short dude, I just feel bad for the other pick because at 5'9", most receivers are going to be towering over this guy.
Fields is just going to be added to special teams, dude, because they already got a lot of people at the position. So,
right. Well, unless the short guy cornerback, your 5'9" cornerback gets put in special teams, and you keep this guy on the field because with his height, and he got the 40-yard dash at a 4.38. So he's got some speed. He can line up. I don't know the rest of it, but
we got number 7, Mr. Irrelevant. I can't talk tonight, but
he is.
Brock, I got a pretty mouth from Iowa State with 3 quarterbacks on the roster, and Jimmy expected to be on the way out at some point. The Niners needed another arm for training camp and one who could be a I don't know, man.
I watched him play when he would face Iowa. Good luck. It's not the best.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody. I actually went to a game and I seen him. Oh no, not these two again. Maker chaos, man. I'm still. Maker shot me in the face with a rocket launcher last night. Anyway.
Yeah, so it'll be
my overall grade. I gave the Niners C plus. I gave them a C plus.
So the NFL, I was looking at their draft pit, their grades. They actually did it in a 3-part. So day 1 they gave them a C. Day 2 their grade was a B, and then day 3 was a B plus. So they got better the further along. It was just like that first day was just like what the head scratchers. And it's, I mean, you never know with the draft, though.
Well, here's what the experts gave my Niners. So sportingnews.com gave the Niners an A. Sports Illustrated gave the 49ers a B. Pro Football Focus gave them a B. The Ringer gave them a B minus, and ESPN gave them a B minus. NFL.com a B minus. Yahoo Sports a C plus. And you know what? And that's where I'm at. I'm at a C plus because there was a couple of spots they could have got. They've reached, like the running back.
Yeah,
that was at the 3rd rounder. That was like he was listed as a 5th and 6th. That's a reach, But I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But our strength was running back, and it wasn't even a damn running back. Well, I know Mitchell did a good job at running back, but Debo, dude, that guy was.
Yeah, that's the. So I'm looking through it, and I'm like, the Vikings actually did pretty damn well considering they stacked up. They had a crap ton of as well, but they got an overall grade of an A minus. At least this is through. I'm going through the NFL's website, so they gave them an overall A minus. Day 1, and they came out with an A. Day 2, they got an A minus, and day 3, they got a B. They got a safety from Georgia with the 32nd pick. They got a cornerback. Let's see. A offensive guard, linebacker, cornerback, defensive end, a running back, an offensive tackle, wide receiver, and then their last pick was a tight end. So a lot of defense, which, that we all know that's anybody that watched the Vikings defense from the former head coach that was a defense specialist, that's what he was good at. They had one of the worst defenses in the league. They were straight up doo-doo. It'll be interesting to see how he plays, how he does. He got a pretty high grade. I mean, he got a 6.26. He's that was 6'2", and did the 40 and 4.37. So it'd be interesting to see how that is. What was their other one? Andrew Booth. They picked up with the 42nd pick. And cornerback, 6 foot tall cornerback, he got a 6.34 grade. So, and we, like I said, we can analyze till our heart's content with the picks, but nobody's going to know until the season starts how these kids are going to do.
I just go with what these guys are ranked, and when you switch picks, you are in a good spot. You back yourself up to get. Unless there's something they see in him that they like.
That was what confused me because the Vikings had a fairly high pick. They were number 10 or 11. They were right before Washington, and they traded their pick away. And I'm like, what in the bloody hell are you doing? Why? But you didn't trade. You
get more graded. No,
I get that you get.
You say
I get it too.
You look what they do. They're in the war room. They're looking at all their guys. And they're like, dude, we really need some people because you think about the injuries. Plus, they play in cold. They're out there in Minnesota where it's cold.
So I was looking at the analysis, and it said the Vikings actually did a nice job grabbing draft picks. That's what they ended up. They traded certain ones, and picked up more. But they said, by getting all these extra picks, you got a desperate division rivals. Detroit obviously is a desperate team. Green Bay, I don't care. You could tell me that they're going to be great, but that's BS.
They went and got a receiver the next day.
Is it going to match Devontae? Is it going to match
Aaron Rodgers went on your boy's show, and he said, "I don't know why they got no receiver, man." But
I saw that. I saw that clip. The Vikings secondary obviously needed help. They got contributors. Who would have been first. They said actually Simon Booth, who would have been a first rounder if not for injuries. Ingram's a likely future starter. Asamoah is the ball hunter the Vikings needed in their new 3-4 scheme. That was a
good pick at round 5. That was a good pick. And then they had another 5 pick with Ty
Evans is a big body corner. That I think it was good for a 4th round pick. He's athletic. He's big bodied. I think it will help. You don't want to wait too long. Chandler, he's going to have quickness.
Also, you got to get guys that fit in your scheme. So the reason
that's the hardest thing.
3-4, he's in the 3-4 scheme with Daniel Hunter on one side, and then they got another newcomer, Darius Smith.
Otto Miwo, he played in 4-3, but he's got the size and the ability to shift over, so I think he'll do fine with that 3-4 scheme.
Vikings need to get rid of Cousins if they want to win. No, they don't. Don't get rid of Cousins. Don't get rid of Cousins, man. Who you gonna get? Jimmy? You think Jimmy's gonna throw the ball to Jeff?
This is what I will say about Cousins. I've been a vocal like that as well, that they should have gotten rid of him. But if you look at Cousins' stats since he's been in Minnesota, and you look at his stats when he was the last couple of years in Washington, he, like last year alone, his stat wise, he was just as good as Tom Brady. He was putting up numbers and consistency and accuracy like Tom Brady. He's not a Tom Brady quarterback. He's not the GOAT. He's not an elite quarterback, but he played at that high of a level on a shitty team.
Adam Thielen, Jeffries.
And it did not help that our running back that the Vikings running back was injured.
Alvin Cook.
They had issues. The biggest issue with the Vikings last year was their shitty defense that couldn't do anything, and they had a head coach that praised that I'm a defensive guru couldn't do anything.
Not only that, but they would do good, and the
defense would cost them.
Defense would cost them because you got people like Aaron Rodgers that are clutch. You got clutch quarterback Tom Brady, clutch.
But you have to look at the bigger picture with Cousins, and you can analyze up front and be like, well, he just blew that game and he blew that one, but over the course of an entire season, he is actually a really good He's not. I think he's above average. He's a good quarterback. The problem is he gets between the Vikings and what he made the same amount in 2 years with Washington. He made what the Vikings gave him in a 3-year fully guaranteed contract off of the franchise tag. He made almost $80 million from Washington. Now the thing with, like I said, with Cousins is he's not average. He's a good quarterback. Yes, he does get flustered when the pocket collapses. I'm sorry. Half the quarterbacks in the NFL have that problem. There aren't a lot of them that can maintain that unless they can run. Cousins has been around the league a long time. He got drafted the same year RG3 got drafted.
Right.
But he's had time to progress. And I saw the consistency in Washington with when he had Shanahan coaching him. He's had good players. The problem with Minnesota is they never built that offense to focus around him. That was why he looked so good in Washington his final 2 years, and why he made bank with Minnesota paying him the way they did. Now, I think if Minnesota builds that offense and has that playbook and everything set up based on Cousins' skills and his abilities, they will do much better. They could potentially move back into playoff caliber and get back to where they wanted to when they originally signed him. And making it to the run to the Super Bowl. I don't want to say that they're Super Bowl bound.
Who's your NFC North team then? Who's the top then? Who's going to be the top of the NFC North?
God,
Come on, say it. Say it.
It's going to be the Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings.
The Packers.
No, I hate the Packers, and I cannot stand Rodgers. I thought it was the greatest. The funniest thing was when he lost his wide receiver, because I was just like, God, I would love to be a fly to watch his little watch that princess throw his little temper tantrum, because that was just icing on the cake, is to watch him get pissed off, because the little diva was probably just like, I'm blah blah. Let's remove all my social media. I'm not going to be a Vikings. I'm just going to be the host of Jeopardy. I don't know. This is going to be a weird season. Like, I thought last year was weird at the beginning of the season. I think this is going to be another one of those years where whatever we pick, we set our sights on. Like, week 1, we're going to make our predictions. At the end of the season, our predictions are not going to be there. I think halfway, when we hit the midway point and we update our predictions for the final half of the season, we're still going to be all over the place.
So let me tell you something. All right. They went and got him Christian Watson from.
Are we talking? We're talking. Who are we talking?
Talking about
Packers. Okay.
With the receiver that they went to get for Aaron Rodgers, they went and got Christian Watson. He's a receiver in North Dakota State. This boy is something else. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
I'll tell you one of the teams that I think did the best besides the Giants, the New York Jets. Hands down, had one of the best drafts I've seen them do in a long time. Almost every article I came up with looking at their draft grade, overall, they got an A. Every single news article I could come up with all gave them A's. NFL gave an overall of an A. Day 1, they got an A. Day 2, they got an A-, and day 3, they got an A. I think they made some good picks this year. I don't want to say that they're going to be playoff bound, but they're definitely not going to be the laughing stock of the NFL like they've been the last couple of years. I think that's Detroit and Cleveland are going to take those spots, and potentially the entire NFC East. I would love to see. Look, I mean,
I don't know. I'm not impressed with Zach Wilson, the QB. So
no, I think that's the only thing that's the iffy part with him. But overall, I'm looking at with the draft and everything. I think they have everything, and maybe Wilson will surprise us, because we've seen teams that have they've had a quarterback that did shitty their first year, and their second year they came out on fire, because we saw that with the Rams. Jared Goff had a crappy year his first season. Second season, he did great. He looked fantastic. Carson Wentz, another one. Shit first season. Second season, he did great, and then the injuries hit him. That was his problem. But overall, those were your best quarter. They had a great second year. Wilson, maybe he'll get that way. I don't know.
Jimmy G to the Jets. No.
The problem, I think, is the money is going to be the biggest issue for the Niners and even the Browns is for both money. Jimmy G and Baker is going to be who is going to be willing to eat the contract, because I'm telling you, the 49ers are not going to want to eat the bulk of Jimmy's contract. But the Browns have already made it clear they don't want to pay anything.
I'll say it again. Baker Mayfield got a raw deal. He could have went out for the season and got surgery. The man played hurt and didn't play up to his full abilities, which cost him his job. And now it's going to be hard to move him, because he's got a lot. He's a top quarterback. Jimmy G, top quarterback, making top money. Teams don't want to,
and they're not going to be willing to go to a team to have to compete. They are going to go. I can guarantee you, a team is there. The only way they would get traded, they will refuse a trade unless it's to a team that is giving them the starting job. They're not going to go and downgrade. I don't care as much as Jimmy. I think Jimmy's a bum. It does his stats alone.
Jimmy, I don't think
he's upper. He's hit or miss. He's not a bum. He's up or down.
If you look at his stats,
his stats say he's a great quarterback. A great quarterback is not going to want to take a back seat. Baker Mayfield is not going to take a back seat, because that would just be there's no way that either of those will do that. I think they're both stuck with them potentially, unless the teams decide to suck it up. But But with the Jets, what do you think of the number 4 pick with Sauce going there?
Sauce. Interesting.
I did
I
like
like it.
when they drafted him, when they announced his name and he acted like he was walking out the building.
Right.
I saw that. I'm like, I almost, but then he turned back. I was like, oh, thank God.
First of all, they got the 4th, 10th, and 26th pick. So you gotta give them a shout out. So they got a cornerback, they got a receiver, they got a DE. Then they came back second round. They got a running back.
They had some high. They had their first 4 picks were all pretty high picks. 4, 10, 26, 36. I mean, I don't care about the running. I'm not a fan of the running back. But remember, I'm a Hawkeye fan in college, so Iowa State is our rival. So I could care less about anybody that from Iowa State that gets drafted. But I think they got some good stuff there. The Eagles, another one that got an A overall.
Eagles did fantastic. Let's talk about they got AJ Brown. Who would name their kid Sauce?
Hey, maybe
they got lost in the sauce, and you know, oh no, damn it, that's really bad.
Oh man,
Ron, back to you about Jimmy G. I could see Jimmy G with the Jets. I could see that. I could see him playing, but money, he's gonna have to take a cut. That's the thing. He's gonna have to take a cut.
Is he willing to do that though? That's the other thing we got to you got to factor with the quarterback is, are they willing to either take a cut or take a back seat or not play? I think that but what happens if the team just releases them because they don't want to keep them there, and then they need to make room. If you cut him,
you're not gonna they wouldn't do Jimmy like that, man.
I don't think they would either. I think I think the Browns would do that to Baker. They already gave him a slap in the face, but with how they've handled this entire situation
Baker right now, you can't even. There's no way that they can make it up because he has been he feels like he's been insulted. Like, how dare you?
What? How dare you? I agree with him though. That's the thing.
I played hurt, and this is how you guys.
That's the repayment.
But guess what, guys? Remember this: the NFL. There ain't no friends, man. It's cutthroat. It's business. Yep. I just don't understand why would you spend so much money on Watson? He's not worth it. He's never won a championship. He's not worth it. He's not guaranteed to be around.
What about Pittsburgh? So we know they got Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh going to play for Pittsburgh. But their last pick was another quarterback. Chris Oladokin. That sounds like a Street Fighter name, but anyways, from South Dakota State. Mm-hmm. That's where my kid was going to go to school, but she changed her mind. Okay. She was going to go there. I was pushing for Iowa, and I got overruled because she's.
They also picked Hayward's brother. That was kind of.
It'd be interesting because I was like, you just. But do they get, since they have 2 quarterbacks? Mm-hmm. Do they get rid? How many are? Because what do they have already? What do they have on the roster already?
No, they got the quarterback died.
Right.
Died.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I mean, he rest in peace and everything. Very sad. Haskins.
Yeah. So Kevin Colbert said had an excellent final draft as the Steelers GM, getting value without trading away picks, which is actually pretty good. There's not a lot, there are a lot of times I've seen in the NFL when it comes to draft time that you have to trade your picks to get other picks to get some value. Steelers didn't really have to do that. They got a future starting quarterback with Pickett.
Dude, they went and got an awesome receiver from Georgia.
He's going to be a playmaker, guaranteed. I think that was another one that surprised me because he fell that far in the draft. But like I said, this was just a weird draft this year.
They went and got another. They got Calvin Austin III, a receiver from Memphis. He's 5'8", 170 pounds. He ran a 4.32 in the 40-yard dash. He was a track sprinter. So, and I think that was a steal at number 3. At number 3. I'm sorry. Number four at 138 overall.
Let's. Oh, keep going.
Then they Connor Hayward. He's a halfback and tight end from Michigan State at 208. He was an All-Pro. Let's see. His brother is All-Pro defense lineman Cameron Hayward. So went and picked up his little brother. So, the family, he's got a good pedigree. Brother playing football. Yeah. So, hey.
Let's see. What other teams do we want to kind of critique? How about the Seahawks?
Yeah, let's see what happened. Yeah, those are my.
The biggest thing that the biggest take that I look at it is they did not grab a quarterback. So we'll see if that backfires on them, or if they're gonna, are they gonna go for trying to somehow get Mayfield, or are they just gonna stick it out with Drew Lock? The other thing is they didn't pick a linebacker to help make up for the loss of Bobby Wagner. So is that going to backfire on them, or are they going to look and see who's available?
Understand right after the draft. I mean, you still got free agents.
Well, yeah, that's the thing but who is available that could could be on the level of a Bobby Wagner? Obviously quarterback is their biggest, in my opinion, quarterback's the biggest issue for them. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest issues, because I'm not sold. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on Drew Lock. Geno, I'm not 100% sold. That's just that two quarterbacks that are not the Russell Wilson caliber. I think that was.
What do you think? They did get Ken Walker III, running back from Michigan State, with the in the second round, pick 9.
41st overall. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good one. And I'm not. I will always favor teams that in the first round, if you go that get defensive players. I played defense. I'm a defensive guy, so I always am a fan of watching defensive players get drafted. But I also like the fact that when you can get those offensive players, the linemen, because let's be honest, offense and defensive line are what help your team succeed. Yep. Yeah, quarterback does, the running back, the receivers, but you can have the best quarterback. If you don't have a line to protect him, doesn't matter how good he is.
He ain't getting that ball down that field. He's getting his butt planted on the ground.
Yeah. Look at Burrow.
You trying to do a run and play. You need them holes, man. So the gaps. So you guys can run through.
We all say defense wins championships. We always look at the quarterback, but in reality, it's the line. Offense and defensive line are the cornerstone to winning a championship, because that is your foundation. And without it, your team will crumble just like anything else. Let's kind of go through the list. Titans came out pretty good too. That's another one that overall had an A across the board. I mean, day 1, day 2, day 3, they had A's. They had an overall of an A. Seems like they got some good players. They got a cornerback from Auburn, a wide receiver from Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Titans are going to be, let me tell you something. Titans got a train that runs through people. Okay.
A healthy one. He's going to be coming back healthy, and he's going to be hungry.
The guy is something. So they did go with a speedy receiver. They went with Burks with the 18th pick.
Yeah.
That was a good pick. I mean, that's a good pick.
McCreary they got out of Auburn. He was with the 35th pick, cornerback. I'm looking to pull his numbers up real quick and see. There we go. 5'11". I mean, that's a good size. You want cornerbacks, when you're looking at cornerbacks, you want that somebody that's at least 5'11". You don't want to go any smaller than that. 40-yard dash in 4.5. That's not bad. So
I kind of feel sorry for Malik Willis though, man, because he fell all the way to number 3. I thought he was going to get picked in the second round.
Yeah, and he was projected. He was a projected first rounder to start with.
But guess what? It's when you play with a chip on your shoulder, and you say, "Okay,
Rodgers."
Yeah, like Rodgers.
Hey, sometimes when you have that chip,
I was like, "Damn, that was a steal to get him at number 3." But
I think what shocked people though was, they chose to get rid of AJ Brown instead of paying the veteran receiver, but they found his replacement with Burke. or with Burks. So we
That's
will
what
see. We'll have to see
that's what you
if it
do.
pays. Well, yeah, that's the point. So I'm
Right.
hoping that the kid succeeds. I would really like to see. I'm
AJ Brown
always
he was getting injuries and stuff. He was getting
yeah.
hurt, and then you got to also take this in consideration: age, speed. Do they, it's
Yeah.
and pay.
Um,
You got to look down. You got to look down the road and say, "Wow, can I really actually keep this guy?"
well, and their talk with with Malik is his skill set gives him a real shot at being a playmaker down the line for Tennessee. So they said that was out of all of their picks, Willis is where they got Willis. That was an absolute steal, and I totally agree with that because I did not think that he would go that far down. Doesn't hurt him. I mean, that really it's going to benefit because that team overall he's on a good team.
Tannehill, don't get mad, bro. You guys had a chance to make it deep in the playoff, and what happened? So this is what happens when you screw up. Guess what? It's the
Hey,
manager's butt on the line.
that's what kind of happens.
You got it.
Let's see. Let me see if there's any other. The Saints are another one that got. They won that. Didn't realize that they didn't have that many picks to begin with because they only grabbed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Overall, they got a C plus, a C for the first and second round, and a B the third round. They got Chris Olave, a wide receiver from Ohio State. They grabbed offensive.
Very good pick. That's a good pick.
At number 11, they grabbed Trevor Penning with the number 19th pick, offensive tackle from Northern Iowa. They got another cornerback from Tennessee, a linebacker from Appalachian State, and a defensive tackle from Air Force. So, but overall, like I said, they got it. It was kind of a weak one for them. They traded away.
I mean,
I'm looking at the analysis, and they said it's just they traded away future capital before the draft started to secure another first round pick this year. Which that's not a bad thing. First rounder, but unless it ends up backfiring.
They got two first round picks. You got a future superstar receiver, and then you got to get an offensive tackle because you got to.
Well, they don't have. They had the absence of their longtime start. Terran Armstead is gone, so they had to get somebody. So that's a good value for what they got to replace him.
Right.
Picking Taylor, I think they jumped the board a bit for the Taylor one. But he's, we will see. It's always a we'll see.
Sometimes just having so many picks don't mean some of these picks are going to be busts. Some of these guys are going to be ending up on the practice squad, or
we've seen. Let's see. There's been lots of teams. The Lions, the Browns. There was 2 years ago. The Browns had a ridiculous amount of picks. They kept trading everything and just stockpiled on trades, draft picks, and look how it worked out for them. The Raiders. How about we can talk about the Raiders?
Sure, we talk about the Raiders.
They gave up some premium picks for a specific wide receiver. Oh God, what? Oh yeah, Rodgers' favorite go-to guy. Oh, poor Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams. I think that was totally worth the picks that they got rid of. But they got the guard. Like I said, offensive line, defensive line. I will always be. Say that's a win no matter what round you get, unless they end up getting injured, becoming one of those injury prone. But so they picked that was one. They got a running back from Georgia, so they grabbed a bulldog. They got 2 defensive tackles, another offensive tackle. So they grabbed an offensive guard, a tackle, 2 defensive tackles, and a running back. I mean, they did pretty darn well, I think.
First of all, you got 2 ways of winning it. You can get draft picks, or you go into free agency. Damn it, they got one of the best damn receivers playing with his old quarterback. So, hey, I think that's going to be great. I think that's going to be
great. I think it's going to be a good thing for them. Another team that I'm excited to watch is the Dolphins. And mostly because I want to see if how Tyreek Hill's going to fit there, but I also want to see Waddle progress. I want to see if he was a one-hit wonder, because let's be honest, he did exceptionally well last year, considering the way that the Dolphins ended up with the season, how their season ended. But it'll be interesting because you've got two very good receivers now, Tyreek Hill and Waddle, and they only got four players,
Right.
which it always amazes me when a team goes after another quarterback. They got a Kansas State quarterback, Skylar Thompson, with the 247th pick. So, will that work out for him? I don't know.
Here's the problem, though. Miami's running back, who is Gaskins, he only got 612 yards with 3 touchdowns. The guy carried 173 times, only got 3 touchdowns. That's their rusher, dude. That is their rusher.
Yeah.
So you got to have balance. You got to have receivers, but you also got to rush the damn ball.
Yeah.
I would have got a running back.
What do you think about the Rams picks? They got a bunch of offense. They got a what do we get? Guard, cornerback, safety, cornerback, defensive end, another safety, offensive tackle, and a running back from Notre Dame.
Rams are going to be awesome. That's all I got to say. They're going to be Rams is good, man. They're good. Rams going to be good. They're going to be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Think about it, man. We got Arizona, San Francisco, Seattle in the NFC West. Think about that. And they don't have. Think about.
Look at the NFC West and the AFC West. The West in general,
right,
is I don't even know how you could pick who's going to win because the AFC West is a stacked set of teams, and so is the NFC West. I'm just like, I would hate to be in that division all together, but having to face those teams is just going to be a nightmare. Even the Chargers did really well in the draft.
I think this is gonna be tough, but I'm gonna say Raiders might be doing Raiders.
The Raiders have been getting good though. Even with the John Gruden issues, they still did really well.
Tyreek Hill not in Kansas City, that's gonna hurt, man, because 80% of the plays was damn Tyreek Hill, man.
That's the one thing that people don't realize is when your quarterback has a specific receiver that's their go-to, the duos. When you break up said duos, right, it changes the dynamic of the team.
But do you really think Russell's going to do great in Denver? Do you think Russell's going to do
good? I don't know if he's going to do good. I don't think it's going to be the Broncos. I think what the Broncos are expecting is it's going to be like what happened with the Rams, and they're just going to be, it's going to be night and day, and bam, they're in the Super Bowl and they win it. They're thinking this is going to be another Matthew Stafford story. I don't know because Wilson
he doesn't have the receivers that he had in Seattle. Lockett and TK Metcalf. He doesn't have those guys. Remember that, folks. They didn't go with him.
But I think if you were expecting like the Chiefs and the Packers to have no difference, they'll still be a top team. It's not going to happen. No, because you broke up a duo. You broke up that duo.
You're gonna see it flip flop. Believe me.
They may still do good. If they can still do good, it's gonna show how good of a quarterback they are. But I just don't know with those two because that's like what would happen. When I'm trying to think of other elite teams that they're not. I don't think that they're going to be they're not on the same level as Brady, who it doesn't matter who he has at receiver. Right. He's just that good that he will make everybody around him that great.
I mean,
that's not Rodgers and that's not.
I'm looking at Kansas City draft right now. So in the second round, they went with Sky Moore from Western Michigan, a receiver. I don't see why didn't they go with a receiver? They had pick 21, pick 30. They didn't go with a receiver. They went with a quarterback and a defense end. I would have thought for sure they would have got a receiver, but they waited until the second round to go pick them up.
Yeah.
I would have grabbed one of them top receivers, but hey, maybe this guy might. Sky Moore. I mean, I don't know. Sky's the limit. I don't know. and then they went. They got a safety. They got an inside linebacker, cornerback, offensive guard, cornerbacker. They went and got a running back and I don't know, man. They had a strange draft, man. I don't know.
I think for us to base on some of these teams on how we're going to do, I have to see the schedules. Luckily, though, we only have 9 days until the schedule gets released.
That's right, and boy, I can't wait to talk next.
That is now. I will say, we do know the first Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. So that one we already got that announced. I don't know what else has been announced, if anything. Like I said, I know May 12th they have announced the season schedule will be released May 12th with the London games a week earlier. So actually, if that's accurate, that means we should be finding out the London games this week. Then I would imagine.
Yep.
So we will be fine. We'll know the names of the teams, the NFL international games a week earlier. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to work out, though. So, they've already got the Rams will play the season opener. They have 9.
Hello, everybody. He is so excited about football. He has froze.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, God. My internet just went out, I think.
I can hear you. I can still hear you.
Okay, can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay. Oh, good.
You better wrap it up before you get cut off.
Well, I'm looking to see if I'm live again, if we're still live. But yeah, let's just end it now. Because otherwise, I'm ending it now, folks, because it looks like we're still good. Thankfully, YouTube allows me to salvage it before it ends. So we're gonna end it now because otherwise my internet's gonna shut off, which means there's probably storms where somebody did something and broke my damn internet, or it was because I was talking bad about Aaron Rodgers. Okay, guys, it's been fun. We will see you guys here back next Tuesday. We're back to our normal schedule.
That's right.
So next Tuesday we'll probably be discussing.
Schedule.
Because it comes out in 9 days. So I'm hoping they'll have some more announcements. We'll get to go over that. And obviously the draft is over. Now there's going to be all kinds of crazy shit in the news. There'll probably be more players getting suspended for doing something stupid. Maybe we'll have a Baker Mayfield trade or a Jimmy G trade to talk about. But otherwise,
camps. We'll be talking about the camps because they got to go to camp.
Yeah, we'll get ready for all that fun stuff. So we will see you here next week. It's going to be fun. We are out of here.